Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tony. I'm coming live from American Fork. Almost breaking out in a radio announcer voice here. Good morning. I won't do that to you. Anyways, I am so excited to talk to you today. I am just ecstatic about what I talked about last week, which was breaking things down into little pieces, chunking them so that you can accomplish things and get out of the overwhelm stage. I want to talk a little bit more about specifically my project. At first, I had to figure out what I was going to do. I couldn't sit back and wait any longer for, to decide. I picked a task. And then actually I picked the task that was bothering my wife the most. So, good peace at home. It's always a good thing. So I picked the task that was bothering her the most. And then I broke it down. I said, okay, I've got all these wood chips. The things that need to happen with the wood chips is, first, I have to kind of prepare where they're going to go. And so I decided I'm going to put the retaining wall, I don't know if you remember seeing it, but I'm going to put the retaining wall that goes along the edge, and then I'm going to fill it in with wood chips. And then I'm going to make that into like an area that we could have a little fire pit and stuff like that. Well, then I broke it down, okay, to do that, I need to, get a shovel, I need to do all these things. I got all my tools, got all that, and then I just started working. I worked for an hour, took a 10-minute break. Worked for an hour, took a 10-minute break. Worked for an hour, do a 10-minute break. Matter of fact, that's actually what I do with business. No matter what job it is I'm working on, I crunch it out for an hour, then I take a break. It is so important that we give ourselves those breaks. For one, to get up, move around, stretch. In the case that I was moving around out there, it's to just sit down, relax, make sure I'm drinking water, staying hydrated so that I don't break my body down. Then, as you do these things, as you break down your tasks, no matter what they may do. Now let's say it's a business. Let's say you're going to break down a business, and you have all of these different projects to do. You have blogging, you have marketing, you have, just maybe employee issues. You've got all these different things. You look at the tasks at hand, identify those that you must do, those that somebody else could do, and those that could wait to be done. Then, those things that you can have somebody else do, have them do it. Get that off your plate. It's worth it to involve somebody else, pay them a little bit of money so that you are functioning and firing all correctly up here. It is not worth it if it overwhelms you and it causes paralysis. And that's where I was at with my yard. And a lot of times I get that way with my business. My business partner, he gets overwhelmed, I get overwhelmed. And so we just kind of almost like go to a halt, a stop. Now, fortunately, I've got a little bit more of the personality that I keep kind of pushing through it. But when there's those times that I'm just like, I just don't want to do anything, I sit back, I look at the task at hand. I actually look at some of the more simple tasks. And if it is something that I have to do, I work on those. If it's something that I can have somebody else do, then I assign it out so that I can stay functioning at my peak. Okay, now, kind of talked about that a little bit. Now I want to talk about another concept. And it's all dealing with the overwhelm. We can't stop. In life, those who are successful are persistent. Those who accomplish great things do it because they just keep going. They don't give up. And as the wrestler Sienna says, never give up. I just saw a clip about how that guy's message just changed a lot of people's life because the whole concept is you never give up. Consistency, repetition, and moving forward is always going to accomplish things better than sitting back and trying to analyze things. It's better to get something up and get it done just a little bit and then go back and fix it if you need to, versus not having anything up at all. So if I need a wall up, for example, I wanted a wall up. I didn't need it. I wanted a wall up. Now, I could have waited till I get the money to go out and to do it exactly how I want and have this nice, beautiful brick wall and stuff like that. Or I reached out and I saw a friend of mine. He had some railroad ties that he was getting rid of. They were just out on the street, so I went and grabbed those. And then this same friend actually had the cinder block that he said, "Do you want them?" I'm like, "Sure, I don't know what I'm going to do with them quite yet, but I do want them." And it was because I was willing and I was open to these other opportunities, these outside resources. You've got to be humble. You've got to be willing to accept help when help is offered. And so I did. And it is a miracle to me because, I never know exactly how I'm going to use something. And now I try really hard not to just accumulate a lot of stuff. But I know when I'm in the process of working on a project and I see something that may fit in, then I do go for it. And my friend, he gave me these cinder blocks. Now I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know a point where I was going to use them. But this is kind of going back, I'm kind of a little all over the place, but my mind's going everywhere too. This is going back to that, have faith, believe in yourself, believe that the blessings are going to come. Now, I knew I wanted to do something over there, with the wood chips, the retaining wall and stuff like that. And then my friend gave me these cinder blocks. I thought, okay, I don't know how I'm going to use them, but I'm going to go ahead and use them. I'll get them. Well, as I was working on the wood chips, I thought, this would be nice to kind of frame this in and block off this area, make it really kind of its own area. And I had the exact number of cinder blocks that I needed. Exact. I mean, I wanted to go around like this and like that. And that is exactly what I had. Now, some people could say, that was coincidence. Some people, you could think whatever you want. That's fine. I consider it a blessing from something much greater than myself, who knew something was going to be coming and how I could use it. It's just interesting that the exact number that I needed was exactly what I got. I'm so grateful that I was willing to accept that from my friend. So never close doors. Don't close any doors. You're amazing. You really are. You are amazing. You can accomplish so many great things, and you will and can make a difference. Don't think that you're too small or you don't have any talents or anything to offer. You do. You absolutely do. You are absolutely amazing. You have talents and skills that can bless other people. You have talents and skills that can bless your family, bless you, if you just allow yourself to explore and to go that way. I thank you guys so much for listening. I may have a small following right now, but that's okay. That's fantastic. Those who listen, I hope that this is helping. Because it's helping me to recognize where I need to improve as well. It's helping me to recognize that I may be struggling in this area, so I need to put a little more focus. I am constantly listening and learning, and I share those things that come to me and that I feel like I should share with you. And so with that, I'm going to talk about one other thing that I just recently learned from Kirk Duncan, who is now one of my favorite speakers. And he talks about this exercise, and it's about exercising faith. It goes back to that exercise of faith, believe in something greater, believe in a higher power. And in this exercise, you address something greater to you, something greater than you. So if you don't believe in God, just think of something that's greater. It could be a mountain. It could be, the sky. It could be whatever you want to address. And then I want you to get out a piece of paper. I actually just finished an exercise of this. I just grabbed a blank piece of paper, and this is an exercise that I did for something that I'm currently kind of struggling with. And like I said, I personally believe in a loving Heavenly Father, but whatever it is you want to believe in, it can be animate, it could be inanimate, it doesn't matter, as long as it's bigger than yourself. And in this example that I want to share, Kirk Duncan had one of his persons that he was talking to that they referred to the mountain. And the mountain was what they wrote to. So you take this and you address it, Dear Heavenly Father, or Dear Mountain, or the mountain, or whatever you want to, whatever's greater than you. And you write a letter to this greater being, this greater thing. And you write it out just as if it's a letter, asking him, explaining all your problems, all your thoughts, your struggles, what you're looking for, how you need help. And then close it, sincerely Tony, or, obviously your name, not my name. But then, just a few seconds later, you put your pencil back down, or pen, I'm a pen guy. Put your pencil back down, and you address it, Dear Tony, or obviously you use your name. And then you write down those thoughts that come into your head. This exercise is phenomenal. It helps open up the doors to a greater communication. And as I've been doing this, I have really received some greater communication. Now, you can think this is woo-woo. I don't care what you think this is. Try it. Don't doubt it until you've tried it. But in this specific thing that I was kind of struggling with, here's what was my little portion of my little letter to Heavenly Father, and then this was everything in response to the answer to me. And it's not always exactly what you want to hear. It's maybe actually the exact opposite of a direction that you wanting to take or thought you should take. But I did this, and I've been doing it, and I just challenge you to do it, because it will help open up doors, excuse me, communication, some opportunities and answers that maybe you just weren't aware of or didn't know how you could get them. Now, in this example that Kirk shares, he talks about this guy. He says, I pay you all this money, and you tell me to write a letter to something greater. And so yeah, pick something greater. So the guy looks out the window, he's all, okay, the mountain there. He says, okay, I want you to write a letter to the mountain. And the guy looks at him like, you want me writing a letter to the mountain? He says, yeah, write a letter to the mountain. Okay, I'll do it. So he goes home, and he does this exercise. He comes back. It's about a week later, and Kirk asks him to report in. And actually a couple days later, and he writes in. He says, that was weird. I actually got answers to some of my struggles, with some of the questions I had. And Kirk is like, oh, that's awesome, fantastic. Well, jumping forward, this man starts implementing this a little more. And he's actually on his way to a presentation. And he says, Kirk, I didn't have the opportunity to sit down and to write this letter. So I actually just turned to the mountain, and I started talking to the mountain. And he says, the mountain spoke back. So now, I know this might be a little deep for some people, but this works. Because I know that there is a greater being than us. And just trust me in this, that trust in something greater than yourself. It doesn't have to be a Heavenly Father. It doesn't have to be God. It doesn't have to be anything that I may believe in. just try this exercise. Something greater, write your letter. Because now this gentleman, everybody's like, wow, where are you getting all this advice at? And he says, Kirk, I can't tell him that the mountain's talking to me. So this is exactly what it is. It is a powerful exercise. I challenge you to do it. And then let me know what happens below. Put your comments in. You don't have to be very specific, but put your comments in. Call me on the phone, message, or whatever. Let me know how it goes. I have found that it's been absolutely a fantastic exercise, and I hope you do it. Have a great day. Have a great week. A fantastic weekend. My daughter's got a softball tournament this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. But you guys enjoy it. Remember, you're amazing. You can accomplish great things. Allow yourself to do it. Thank you.